One thing that always makes me laugh, right, is when I see some football fans saying that Enzo Maresca does not have a plan B. In fact, these football fans, they are almost always Chelsea fans. And it always makes me laugh because if you are saying Chelsea do not have a plan B under Enzo Maresca, then it means that you've not been watching Chelsea under Enzo Maresca. Because even in our last game, the Burnley versus Chelsea game, the game that we won 2-0, in that game, there was a plan B. There was a plan B in that game. See, initially, what Maresca wanted to play in that game was a 3-1-6. That was what Maresca wanted to play. If you watch that game from the first half, we wanted to play a 3-1-6. But Burnley were very, very compact in the central channels. So we were not able to progress the ball because Burnley, they were pressing with a 4-3-3, but I know a three front players. That was what Burnley were using to press. So they were blocking our central progression, despite the fact that we were playing 3-1-6. So what did Maresca do? Again, remember, Burnley did not give us enough time or space to progress the ball. The centre backs did not have time to progress that ball because the three Burnley players were pressing them, the three forwards. So what did Maresca do? Maresca turned to plan B. He turned to plan B. He brought Marc Cucurella into the pivot, which allowed more control, but then we now started having what we call stale possession or useless possession. Depends on how you want to look at it. Started having useless possession. Because that was why if you watch in that first half, we were having possession, but it was Burnley that were having shots on target, that were creating chances in that first half. Before Enzo Maresca now say, okay, let's do 2. Then when we now do 2, we're now having possession. That was Cucurella now had to invert. It was now 2 in the midfield. We're having possession, but still we could not create chance. What did Maresca now do after that plan B? Remember, plan A was 3-1-6. Plan B, he changed to inverting Cucurella into the pivot. Still, it did not work. Then Maresca now went to plan C. What was plan C? Cucurella and João Pedro, they were interchanging. They were rotating. That was why if you were watching that game, you will see that there were chances where Marc Cucurella, he would be higher than even João Pedro. João Pedro was number 10, but Marc Cucurella would be higher than him. Why? Because João Pedro would drop deep, Marc Cucurella would rotate, would basically exchange with João Pedro and now become high on the pitch. That solved our central areas. Because if you don't take my word for it, look at the way we scored our first goal. How did it happen? Tosin Adarabioyo played the long ball to Marc Cucurella. Marc Cucurella was very high on the pitch. As Adarabioyo played the long ball to Marc Cucurella then passed to Jamie Gittens. Jamie Gittens crossed to Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto scored. Still, after all these things, some of you will not come. Enzo Maresca does not have a plan B. In one match, he did plan A, plan B, plan C. Again, you Chelsea fans, I don't know what you watch anyways. Maybe it's just me that pays attention to all these things, but I don't know what you guys watch. It's just so funny.